Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Orth. I want to do a quick review for those of you who've been with me in the fall, and for our new students I want to get you caught up so that you guys can all rock and roll when we get to our recorder class next week. Okay, we've got to talk over some things that we have symbols for and then some vocab, alright? So the symbols we've got to talk about. First of all, we have our friend the quarter note. The quarter note looks like this. It's got a note head, it's got a stem, and it gets one beat. Next we have our half note. Half note looks just like a quarter note except it's not colored in the middle. Still has a stem, still has a note head, okay? And that gets two beats. And then we have our whole note. Whole note is clear in the middle and it gets four beats, okay? So we've got our whole note, our half note, and our quarter note. Okay, now we have to talk about rests. Rests are silence. When we see a rest in our music, we are quiet. The first rest is called a quarter note rest. It looks like this. It looks like a Z with a lazy C. Whenever I draw them, that's how I try to draw them. Sometimes when you see quarter note rests in music, they're ugly. And I call those ugly squiggles. But we're going to make ours look nice, like this. Now, that gets one beat of silence. The next kind of rest is a half note rest. The half note rest gets two beats of silence. It looks like this. And if you look at that, you might think, that kind of looks like a hat, looks like a top hat, and you would be correct. Just think of the word hat being very similar to the word half, which would get two beats of silence. And our last rest we're going to talk about is a whole note rest. A whole rest gets four beats of silence, and it looks like an upside down hat. So we've got our quarter note and the corresponding quarter note rest, which gets one beat of sound or one beat of silence. Then we have our half note and our half note rest, which gets two beats of sound or two beats of silence. And then we have our whole note. And our whole note gets four beats of sound, and the whole note rest gets four beats of silence. Okay? You got your rests right now? All right, let's talk about our rhythm totem pole, just so you can see. So at the top of the totem pole is a whole note. So draw your whole note and label it whole note, W-H-O-L-E. Underneath the whole note, you can have two half notes. Draw your half notes. They look kind of oval at the bottom with a stem. Note heads are kind of ovally and then a stem. They get two beats each, and 2 plus 2 equals 4. Underneath those, each half note is worth two quarter notes. So draw your quarter notes. They look like an oval on the bottom. Color it in, and then put the stem on it. So each half note gets two quarter notes. Now we have to talk about some words so that we're all on the same page when we're in class with our recorders, okay? You have to learn some vocabulary. The first word is measure. A measure is the area between two bar lines, okay? The next word is bar line. The bar line is the lines which cross the staff and divide it into measures or bars. Sometimes measures are called bars, but most of the time they're called measures. But if somebody said, go to bar 20, then you need to be able to count to the 20th measure and find out where you are. Okay, so we've got measure, and then we have bar, and then the next word is double bar line. A double bar line looks like this, and you find it at the end of a piece. It tells the musician, that's you, that you're done. You're at the end, okay, when you see the double bar line. Something else you need to know is the repeat sign. The repeat sign looks like this. It's 2 lines and 2 dots, followed by 2 lines and 2 dots. And whatever's in between those gets repeated. That's why we call it the repeat sign, okay? You'll see that in your recorder music as well. The next thing you need to know how to recognize is a treble clef. It looks like this. Another symbol you need to recognize is the bass clef. It looks like this. Then we have the staff. The staff is the 5 lines and the 4 spaces between them on which music notes and other symbols are written. That's the staff. Other things to know for recorder music are numbers, measure numbers that are squared. I'll say go to square 5 or go to square 17. And that just means the 17th measure or the 5th measure. And it's a way to find where you are if you get lost. Because sometimes you'll get lost and I'll yell out the number and you'll go to that measure. Just to be clear, the squared numbers can also be letters, and it's a way for the musician to find out where they are in the piece. Let's say you have a piece that's 5 pages long, and the music conductor says, okay, we need to go to square 5. That could be the 5th measure, but it also could be someplace else. It could be measure 65 or some other number like that. It's just a way for you to find your way around, a navigational tool. If it's letter A, letter B, letter C, it's just a way for you to find a place in the piece. And a lot of times a conductor will use that to get everybody all together to start when you're rehearsing. All right, now you have all this information, all these words, all these notes, all these rests. Let's talk about time signatures. There are a bazillion time signatures out there, but you only have to know a few. So who likes easy? Great. Let me tell you about the easy time signatures. This one is called 4/4 time. It means 4 beats in a measure and a quarter note gets 1 beat. Also, it can be referred to as common time. And if it is common time, sometimes it is shown at the beginning of a piece by a capital C. And that just tells the performer, oh, it's 4/4 time. 4 beats in a measure and a quarter note gets 1 beat. So when we're talking about whole notes and half notes and quarter notes, it means 1 whole note for each measure, or 2 half notes for each measure, or 4 quarter notes. And then you can also try rests and things like that, as long as it adds up to 4 in every measure. Okay? Another time signature is 3/4 time, and that means 3 beats in a measure and a quarter note gets 1 beat. Okay? The top number tells you how many beats are in a measure, and the bottom number tells you what kind of note gets 1 beat. And I know it's a 4, but we don't call it a 4 note or a 4th note. We call it a quarter note. We just know that it's a quarter note. So those are the 2 time signatures you need to be responsible for right now. And if we get some other ones along the way, we'll talk about them. All right, here's our first rhythmic exercise. So I need you to look at this whole thing and see what you see. The first thing is we've got our treble clef, followed by our time signature, which is 4/4. Then we've got our measures and a bar line, measure and a bar line, all the way to here. And then at the end we have, what is that? Right, that's the double bar line. There's a couple of quarter rests we need to be aware of. And I'm going to help you count this out so that you can see how it goes to read music. All right? I'll give you 4 beats for nothing. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Rest. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Rest. 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3. Rest. So far so good? Great. Let's look at the next one. Same deal. Start at the beginning. We see the treble clef. We note what the time signature is. Still 4/4. And we check and see any surprises coming out. Nope. Here's the double bar line. That means that's the end of exercise number 2. Ready? Here we go from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, rest. 3, rest. Great. You guys ready for something harder? All right, you're getting good at this. It's exercise number 3. We see the treble clef. We see the time signature, still 4/4. We see the double bar, and there's 8 measures of fun. All right, here we go. I'll count you in. 4 for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, rest. 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, rest. 3, rest. 1, rest. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, rest. 3, 4. 1, 2, rest. 4. All right. What's number 4 look like? Some of the same stuff. Again, I hope that you're looking at the treble clef and you're getting used to looking at the 4/4 time signature, double bar at the end. There's some rests in there. Ready to go? Alrighty. From the beginning, I'll count you in. 4 for nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. 3, 4. Rest, rest. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, rest, 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 rest. 3, 4. 1, rest. 3, rest. 1, rest, rest. 4. Kind of clever. So we just have to keep counting 1, 2, 3, 4 over and over again. You guys getting that pattern? And then these sneaky rests, you got to figure out how to say them. Okay, let's look at the challenge exercise. That's a lot of stuff in there. I'm at the beginning. I'm looking at the treble clef. I'm looking at the 4/4. And I see that there's a double bar there. 8 measures of absolute fun. I'm so proud of you. You've learned a lot today. All right, so we got our quarter notes. We've got some rests. And we just got to keep saying over and over in our head, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got to figure out where everything falls, okay? I'll go super slow from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, rest, rest. 4, 2, rest. 4, 1, rest. 3, rest, rest. 2, rest. 4, rest, rest, rest. 4, rest. 2, rest. 4, 1, 2, rest. 4, 1, rest, rest. 4. That is hard. How am I doing it? I just keep thinking where the 1 is, where the 2 is, where the 3 is, where the 4 is. All right, are you still watching this? Are you taking notes? Are you excited? Are you getting ready so that we can rock and roll in music class? All right, here is what I need you to do. I need you to watch this video over again. I need you to take notes. I'm going to send a PDF file to your moms so that they can print off some stuff and that you can have some notes and some note cards. I need you to make some notes and some note cards, and I need you to go over them, okay? You need a pencil, you need some paper, and you need a special notebook called Music Class so that you can be in charge of this information. I do not want you to be in class saying, oh, right, wait, isn't it, it's the thing with the thing. No, it needs to be, it's a quarter note, Mrs. Orth. That's the quarter rest. I got that. It means 1 beat of silence, okay? I want to see who's going to pay attention and do that. All right? Who's going to do that? Who's going to get their pencil out? Like this guy. Yeah? Who's going to do it? Who's going to be ready to go on next Friday? I need you to do this. It matters. We need to have a really good class. We all need to be on the same page. Got it? All right. See you guys later. Bye.